Roughly 152,000 people die every single day in the world. So we're going to be talking about Bitcoin's price in this video, and we're going to be looking at the chart as well. But before we get into that, I want to talk about kind of a different topic here. Now, a lot of people keep their cryptocurrency on a private device, whether it's a hard wallet, paper wallet, whatever it may be. And I'm curious how many people out there or people watching this video actually share their private key with close friends, close family. I would venture a guess, probably a very low percentage of people. Most people live their life every day without the expectation of dying that day. A lot of people don't expect to die. However, a lot of people do. If 152,000 people die every single day in the world, I think that's roughly about 6.3 thousand people dying every single hour. So 6,300 people roughly dying every single hour. Now, I think it's agreed that a very small percentage of people are involved in cryptocurrency. However, it's kind of a zero-sum game in the sense that, like, when you die, and if you haven't shared your private key or shared a way to access your cryptocurrency, it's essentially impossible to retrieve that cryptocurrency, right? So I think one of the big things going forward of why cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and I guess really every cryptocurrency in general becomes more and more valuable every single day is because the supply is decreasing every single day, most likely permanently. Unless you planned ahead and decided to share your private keys with a loved one, a family member, a close friend, or something like that, if you would happen to die, which on a large scale happens very often, again, 152,000 people every single day, about 6,000 people every single hour. So, I mean, I guess we could take a wild guess and say if 1 in 6,000 people are invested in crypto, again, which is probably, I guess, possible considering there are so many people in the world, but so few are involved in crypto. Let's just say that, for example, 1 in 6,000 people is invested in crypto. Again, which is not even 1% of the world, obviously, much smaller than that. But if we guess that 1 in 6,000 die every single day, let's say one Bitcoin holder dies every single day. Most likely the figures are much higher than that. But every single day, the scarcity then increases because there's less circulating supply, and it will never be able to get retrieved, most likely. Again, unless somebody shared that with a family member or a loved one. So the point is that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, when you lose it, you lose it. It's pretty much, if it's gone, you won't be able to get it back, which increases the demand because the supply decreases. And again, Bitcoin already has a fixed amount. And if you take that and decrease it even by a small amount every single day, when people die and lose access to their keys, you just get something more and more valuable potentially in the future. That's not guaranteeing that Bitcoin and crypto will be successful. However, if it is, and it really does catch on, and people are dying and pretty much foregoing their private keys every single day, again, that's just one other way that the price and the value, the supply of Bitcoin really becomes more and more valuable. So if we want to take a look really quickly, how has Bitcoin been doing over the past 24 hours? After yesterday, early morning in the US, we saw that drop you can see across the board on all cryptocurrencies, basically, right here. Bitcoin seems to have, as for now, found some support right around that 3,700. That's what I talked about in my video yesterday. I thought, just because of the history over the last 2 months of Bitcoin finding resistance and support right around that 37. So far, it's still holding. We have a little over 24 hours of it holding there, right? The candle essentially extended all the way down there and stopped. So still trading basically in the middle of this channel that we've been in for about a year now, a little over a year since the beginning of 2018. This is the top of the channel and this is the bottom here. And we're now over halfway of that second drop compared to the last bear market. That's what this box represents. And this box represents the third trading period of the last bear market. So this entire sequence here just represents the last bear market compared to now. It's not to say we're going to be trading exactly in here this entire time, but this is just to kind of illustrate the comparisons between the two bear markets. So what is Bitcoin doing on a smaller time scale here? Here on the 4 hour, you can see, again, look at 3,700. Seems to be very strong support so far. Again, that does not ever mean it won't break that. However, just looking at what it's done over the past few days here, really the past few weeks, starting all the way back on December 19th to now, January 11th, you can see 37 has come to a grinding halt every single time. Now we've seen this before, and we we see it plummet past that. And so again, this doesn't guarantee that this isn't going to drop anytime soon. But as for now, we found some support around the $3,700 mark once again for Bitcoin. On the 4-hour, we don't see massive drops from the moving average here. Usually around like 10, maybe 15 max percentage drops. Currently, we're about 7%. If we just want to, we can just double check that here. Here's the moving average down to about here, so about 7.9%. Yeah. So we're already pretty extended away from the moving average. So on these shorter time frames, we could see potentially a bounce back up. If we would fall more, I don't necessarily think we would fall too much more in the short term, just considering we're a little overextended from that, and we've already seen some pretty big drops in the last few 4-hour candles here. But stretching that out maybe to the next week or 2 weeks, is it possible that we have more room to go down? Absolutely. After this drop over the last 2 months, and then this trading period where we slowly built ourselves back up and then immediately dumped it pretty much within a day or two, it's very possible that we continue this downward trend there. Bitcoin was able to get above the 50-day moving average. Right here you can see that it was not long-lived at all, as it usually has not been. This entire bear market, you can see it here. This was one of the longer ones here as well as here, but immediately gets pulled back to that, or at least underneath it. But we spent so much time trading in a pretty large percentage below it here that I would not be surprised if we had some room to stay above it for a little bit. But again, we're in a bear market, so that's not ever expected. If we take a zoom out and we just look on the bigger picture here, so this line here just represents, and this is only drawn to the two tops of the bull market, topping out at the end of 2013, and then the bull market topping out at the end of 2017, so 4 years after this one. So just for fun, 4 years from here to here, if we went 4 years to the end of 2021, where would that put us on this chart here? So about $125,000 at the end of 2021. Again, I don't think these things will ever perfectly repeat themselves, even though so far this bear market and this one are pretty similar. Potentially we could see something like that. So we would start curving up fairly soon, considering that's about halfway. If this would be where we would expect 125, we're almost halfway there right here. Another thing though, that's why I brought up at the beginning of the video, is the scarcity aspect. I think that'll come more into play as time goes on, because every single day there's less and less available cryptocurrency. Even though Bitcoin's max supply is going to be 21 million, the real supply should be much lower than that, considering how many people lose their cryptocurrency. People can't unlose their cryptocurrency, meaning if you permanently lose your cryptocurrency, say you put it in a hard drive or a computer and you throw it away or whatever it may be, and you completely lose access to it, it's close to impossible to ever recover that for anyone. And on the opposite side, you can't make more than the max supply of Bitcoin. So it's pretty much only going to decrease. So that makes it even more powerful in terms of how much there is and what the value could be. We can't discover more of it. We can't go drilling for it, say something like oil, or maybe we discover a ton of gold or something like that. Those things are kind of always up in the air. They could always find more of it or create more of it, or whatever the case is. However, Bitcoin's a fixed supply. And I don't think we've necessarily had anything that's completely guaranteed to never have a higher max supply than what was predetermined at a certain point in time, like Bitcoin, and like many other cryptocurrencies as well. With that being said, I think the scarcity aspect, the fact that people die every single day, really could have a huge impact on this. Every single day moving forward, it becomes more and more of a possibility, and more it comes into play, I think. And to end the video, I just wanted to cover this really briefly. There's an article posted on Cointelegraph by William Suberg. Vinny Lingman forecasts Bitcoin price for 2 months trading between 3,000 and 5,000. Again, take these with a grain of salt, but I just thought it was an interesting article to bring up, because it's somebody, Vinny Lingman, a CEO of blockchain identity platform Civic, changing his prediction here. So he told the financial news network Cheddar that cryptocurrency could fall below 3,000, something I agree with. I don't think 3,000 is quite as low as it possibly could be. With that being said, it could always surprise everyone, and 3,000 could be the bottom here. So it says here, the reality is it'll probably trade sideways between 3,000 and 5,000 for another month or two. Again, with cryptocurrency, nothing is predictable. You might be able to get some things right here and there, but I think largely it's very hard to nail 100%. In fact, I think it's impossible to nail every move 100%. But he says after Bitcoin lost its support at 4K and dropped 250 in a matter of minutes last night or 2 nights ago, the renewed volatility had followed several days of flat movements, canceling out gains made earlier in the week. Then he goes on to talk about his ICO proceeds and everything like that. Then there's veteran trader Tone Vays, who in December claimed a bottom could fall below 1,300. So what do you guys think about that in particular? Do you think that Bitcoin could fall below $1,300? I personally don't necessarily think that we could go that low. Again, anything's a possibility. 1,300 to me sounds very low. Again, Tone Vays has been, I guess, more bearish than the average trader in the last year or two. But yeah, what do you guys think a bottom could be, an ultimate bottom here? Again, if I would have to take a guess on where I think the ultimate bottom would be, I think 1,500 to 1,800 would be my best guess, and I guess that's not too far off from 1,300. At that point, it's really just nitpicking anyway. But yeah, I guess share your thoughts there. Leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another video.